Buckle up, folks. This wild ride's got everything. Lifelong friendships, a new guy who's about as pleasant as a porcupine in a balloon factory, and a birthday roast that would make a Thanksgiving turkey blush. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. But before I get started, don't forget to tap that like button as it really helps my channel out a ton. Alrighty, let's dig in. I have a small group of close friends, all males around the age of 25, that I hang out with almost every day. We've all known each other almost all our lives, and recently we got a new addition to our group, John. I never really liked John. He was rude, obnoxious, and would always talk like he knows everything. He was also incredibly pretentious. A friend of mine said Einstein once, and John interrupted him to say, "I have no idea who you are talking about. Do you mean the renowned scientist Albert Einstein?" I once put up a Snapchat story saying, "I love college football," and he replied to my story with, "It's called gridiron, you moron." I don't understand how, but my friends readily accepted him into our friend circle. On one night about 5 to 6 months ago, we had a little get-together and we were just drinking and having fun. John was kind of tipsy. We had some new girls show up, so I was kind of working my charm on them. They asked me what I did, and I went, "I'm a biomed engineer." I don't know why that triggered John so much, but he went on this hour-long tirade about how I'm just a drone in a rat race. He kept telling me about how I'm just like every other person and lacked creativity. He later passed out, but his little tirade became a running joke in our group. Every time I mentioned work or anything, John would start roasting me. He nicknamed me Drone and kept calling me that, even though I expressed multiple times that I don't like to be called a drone. He would keep telling me about how easy engineering is. He watched some intro to engineering courses online, and that any monkey with a brain can do what I do. That really pissed me off. Once I told him to shut the hell up, but he was like, "What are you going to do? Fight me? I dare you to swing." I didn't want to fight him, so now I started getting referred to as a pansy. Over the last few months or so, I kind of went front page a couple of times on Reddit, and everyone was like, "Damn, Mashka, you're famous now," as a joke. That triggered him even more. He'd say stuff like, "His posts suck. They're not even funny. Reddit is now just filled with stupid Facebookers who upvote stupid clickbait crap and downvote meaningful talent." At this point, it is relevant to bring up what John does. He's a photographer who works as a barista at Starbucks. How good is he, you may ask? Honestly, he started off as an annoying kid with a DSLR, no talent, and a Facebook page where he uploaded pictures that I'd probably rate 3 out of 10. Over the years, he got slightly better, but it's still terrible. I'd say they are now more like 5 out of 10. 2 weeks ago, he got rejected from his dream job and made an Instagram post about how National Geography discriminated him because of his skin color. He's brown. Last week, we had a surprise birthday party at his place with his family. He lives with his parents and friends. At the party, I apologized to him. I hadn't met him since the post and said, "I'm sorry you didn't get National Geo." To which he got angry again and said, "I'd rather eat my own poop than be a drone like you. What I'm doing is making real art, and it's something your robot brain won't ever understand now or in the future, so I actually feel sorry for you." He said stuff like this in front of a girl I was with who got so enraged that she left and told me to tell them that she's sick or something. That's it. I freaking lost it. We were handing out mics to talk about our favorite memory with John, and I took that opportunity to say, "Well, John, your pictures freaking suck. No wonder Nat Geo rejected you. You're a 27-year-old barista with no college degree, mooching off your parents and taking worse pictures than any jackass with an iPhone camera. You're not going to amount to anything in life, so just..." I got cut off right there. His dad grabbed the mic and shoved me. John came charging at me, but everyone just held him back. The rest of the guys were like, "Get him out of here," and I got kicked out. No one has talked to me since the incident, and John blocked me from all social media. Our group chat has been pretty silent too. John also apparently made a roast post about me. I don't know if I should apologize to him or not. I know John is an a-hole, but am I the a-hole in this situation? Oh boy, where do we even begin with this one? So we've got our main man here dealing with the living embodiment of every internet troll, aka John, who's, quite frankly, about as pleasant as a root canal. Now, John's got this habit of being a human speed bump, doing his utmost to flatten the joy out of every situation with his pretentious know-it-all attitude. Seriously, correcting Einstein pronunciation. That's next-level snobbery, folks. Now, I get it. Dealing with a guy like John is like trying to play chess with a pigeon. No matter how good you are, the bird's just going to knock over the pieces, crap on the board, and strut around like it's victorious. And boy, did John strut. Our friend here, an accomplished biomed engineer, becomes the target of John's rants, being referred to as a drone and pansy and all sorts of degrading nicknames. You gotta admire his restraint, because let's be honest, we'd all love to give John a taste of his own medicine. Now, the irony of John's existence hits its peak when he blames his failed photography career on discrimination. A 5 out of 10 photographer, and that's being generous, blaming National Geo for discrimination, is like me blaming the Olympics because they won't let me run the 100-meter sprint. Newsflash, John, maybe you're just not that good. And then came the party. Our poor guy, trying to extend an olive branch, gets trashed by John in front of a girl, no less. Now, I'm not advocating for public roasts, but if there ever was a time and a place, this was it. Our guy lets loose on John, and let's be honest, we were all mentally cheering him on. The aftermath is pretty rough, with our guy getting booted from the party and the friend group going radio silent, but honestly, was he the a-hole? I'm thinking no. Sometimes the truth stings, and John had a double dose of reality served to him that night. Apologize? Maybe, if only to keep the peace. But remember, folks, life's too short to let a human cloud rain on your parade. You keep doing you, biomed engineer. Your Reddit fam's got your back. Ever met a professional fibber at work? We've got one whose lie about being a language savant just got served a steaming cup of truth in Dutch. Strap in, folks, because we're about to embark on a linguistic roller coaster ride. Last week, a new colleague, Kathy, 33, female, started at my 25 female workplace. She instantly stood out in the team because she seems like someone who is very, loud and assertive. 2 of my colleagues and I were having coffee in the break room with Kathy. We were the only ones in there and we were sitting far apart when the subject of travel was brought up. My colleague said she wasn't booking trips anymore because it'll probably get canceled because of Corona anyway. Kathy immediately cut in about how sad she is because she travels so often and she goes on these far exotic trips to Europe as her hobby. When I think exotic, I think the Bahamas or something instead of Europe, but okay, cool, I guess. Kathy then jokes about how all this no-travel business is making her fear that she'll lose some of her foreign language skills. I asked what languages she spoke. She claimed to be fluent in 3 European languages, among which were French and Dutch. Kathy said she was at a native speaker level, and went on about how people in Europe were always surprised when they found out she wasn't from there. I was excited because I never get to speak Dutch over here. I was raised in Belgium, which has 3 national languages, French and Dutch, which are my mother tongues and the most commonly spoken there, and German. It's quite common to be pretty fluent in at least 2 out of the 3 languages in Belgium, because you're required to learn them at school, along with English, from a young age. I told Kathy, oh fun, we have something in common then. In Dutch, of course. She immediately pulled this sour face and asked me if that was supposed to be Dutch. I said yes. She laughed awkwardly and said she couldn't understand because I have a terrible accent and must not be that good at speaking it. Now see, I don't have an accent. I speak Dutch more fluently than I speak English. I told Kathy that I grew up speaking Dutch and speak it to my family all the time. She got miffed and asked what languages I speak and where I'm from. I told her I'm from Belgium, so I also speak French, and I added, which you just said you speak as well. Cool, we can speak French instead. I acknowledged that I was a bit of a dick here because by that point I knew she probably lied about speaking French as well. She then shoved her chair back and angrily got up, said whatever, and stomped off. It was awkward. My other colleagues just kind of shrugged and said she shouldn't have lied. However, she later approached me and told me I embarrassed her by acting superior about my European heritage. I told her there was no way for me to know she'd lied about speaking those languages. She rolled her eyes and told me I was immature. A colleague told me that Kathy had called me a little B-word who enjoys bullying new colleagues behind my back later. I don't think I was a bully at all, but I don't want this to turn into a huge thing. Do I just apologize to keep the peace? Am I the a-hole here? Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive, and then get called out in the company break room, am I right? So here's Kathy, strutting in like she's the United Nations official translator claiming fluency in Dutch, French, and what, Esperanto? And then, in a twist that would make M. Night Shyamalan blush, it turns out we have a bona fide Belgian in the house ready to chat up a storm in Kathy's alleged languages. What a linguistic plot twist. Okay, so Kathy got her feathers ruffled when your Dutch was apparently too Dutch for her to understand, which is like saying, your pizza is too Italian for me. Then she had the gall to accuse you of showing off your superior European heritage when she was the one trying to pass herself off as a linguistic Indiana Jones. The audacity. And let's not even start on the little B-word comment. I mean, who does she think she is? A high school mean girl? You just wanted to have a nice chat in your native tongue, not start World War III in the break room. So, are you the a-hole? I'd say no. She claimed to speak languages she obviously didn't, and got caught in her own lie. You were just trying to connect with a new colleague. Maybe next time she'll think twice before claiming to be the Rosetta Stone personified. As for apologizing, that's up to you, but I'd say Kathy might want to start practicing her sorry in Dutch and French. Thanks for watching till the end, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of these ridiculous stories. Love you all, and stay safe out there in that crazy world. Much love. Peace.